moly. What was my corner? My face was all the way in the top left corner there. That was weird. It is episode 398. It is May 17th, 2026. Let us be the first to wish you and yours a happy night. How about Aaron Rai dropping his all over the PGA Championship, Arana Mink, whatever you want to call it, the Mink, the Link, the Clink, Michael Scott from The Office, Paper Company, Prison Mike, whatever. It doesn't matter. Aaron Rai absolutely separating himself from the crowd late on Sunday. It was a glorious. I mean, the Masters. We need more drama in the majors because I feel like the last two majors we haven't had that that we usually get with majors, and I got my arms folded right now. And it's right now, ladies and gentlemen. I know Tex is on his way. I'm AK, your host. Thank you for those tuning in to the podcast. Like I said, episode 398. I want to shout out Brad. Brad, we've got some intel. We've got some discussions. We've got you a hat. Mitch, we got your hat coming. So everybody's supporting the podcast. Everybody's listening to the podcast. We appreciate it. Leave a review, subscribe, rate, download, all that stuff. It helps us out a lot, especially the ones if you go and you're listening to our podcast on Apple or Spotify. You get the 5-star, and you give us a review. Spectacular. Also, I am habitually late. I am just one of those people that has one of those problems, and you all probably know somebody that's like that. But if you're like me and your brain's all over the place and you have a hard time getting on time, not because you're being rude, not because you don't care. It's literally because I look down at the clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't been paying attention to the time. So I'm sure everybody has one of those people in their life. So hat tip, fist bump, whatever, if you're one of those. And if you're not one of those and you're mad at people like me, relax. Garrett Higo, another PGA Championship note. So, but we'll get into that later. But anyways, let's just start with, you can taste summer, ladies and gentlemen. You can taste it. It was like 85 degrees where I was today. There was a little bit of boat riding action going on. There was a little bit of some water going on. I mean, this is the good part of the year, and we've actually had a legitimate spring, which is spectacular. But Aaron Rai, that's where we're going to start today. Actually, speaking of hats, sorry. You see what I'm saying? My brain's all over the place. Speaking of hats, shout out at howdy.hats.enc. On Instagram, she does our Millie Goats hats. I've got to place a new order of hats. All of our other hats have been sold. They're gone. If you want one, always, if we're here, you know that. Then, there we go. Okay. I thought I didn't start the Instagram live, but I did. Shout out me. But anyways, yeah, reach out. We'll get you a hat. We will get you a hat. G.U.Y.S is tuning in from the PGA Championship. So Edge is on his way back from vacation, or he just got back today, so he's probably getting it together. Tex is on his way. He's going to be on the show tonight. And then G.U.Y.S is actually at Arana Mink in Pennsylvania, and he is waiting for Aaron Rai to do his post-game press conference. And G.U.Y.S, they've been waiting on Aaron Rai for quite some time. So there you go. That's the update. Happy National Walnut Day, ladies and gentlemen. On the show today, we're going to talk PGA Championship. I've been rambling for 5 minutes now. We haven't talked about anything other than me yelling about the championship. We're going to talk NFL schedules. We're going to talk NHL playoffs, 3 minutes of NBA, and then we're going to talk a little bit of some other sports news, the Preakness, that sort of thing, and some it's that kind of stuff. So everybody, hope you're having a great Monday. I hope so. All right. B. McCormick, you need to let me know. Are we still good? I keep getting the circles of death on my screen here, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But anyways, make sure everything is okay. We're good there. We're good there. Everything on my end seems to be okay. B. McCormick, if you can hear us, let me know. If not, we're just going to keep rolling. And if we get cut off, then we get cut off. Such is life. Okay. Let's kick your Monday off with a little salute. Everybody, shh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this liquid death here. It's my third one today. I was sitting out, we're having some work done in our backyard that involves installation of something that we can swim in, and that has been an awesome process. And there's nothing like being by the water, on the water, whatever, whenever it's hot outside. And I drank, this is my third Liquid Death. So Liquid Death, okay, BMO is on the case. He said it froze a few times, must be having some internet issues or something. Interesting. I hope not. That sucks. But thank you, BMO. Aaron Rai, 9 under. He was coming down the stretch there. He's the 2026 PGA champion. Won it by 3 shots. He outplayed and outlasted John Rahm. Alex Smalley kind of did what he did the other day, where he just Alex Smalley made a birdie on 18 to get to, that was $1 million putt, by the way. Shout out Alex Smalley. Duke guy, only got to beat Scotty Scheffler in like a head-to-head or whatever. The ACC couldn't get it done, not their fault. As Alex Smalley hasn't played a full SEC schedule is what I'm saying. But anyways, you got to lay off the guy, Alex Smalley, by the way. Like, he was the third round leader at, I think it was 5 or 6 under on yesterday, but people were giving him a hard time because he seems to be a very kind of reserved dude, very introverted guy. And everybody's, there was a video out there going about, he had a laugh like Kawhi Leonard, and everybody's kind of like, dude, if the guy is shy of the spotlight, and I know it comes with the territory, but don't pile on the dude. You can't do that. So, but fun fact, in 2018, he did beat Scotty Scheffler in a head-to-head match play. So there you go. His coach said he put him out there on purpose because he knew he can handle the pressure. So Alex Smalley did battle back to get back to second today. But the story was Aaron Rai, because Aaron Rai made that putt on 17, the par 3, the right to left down the hill, right to left breaker, 70-footer. Crowd went into absolute frenzy. It was a great, like, major moment, and that's when he kind of sealed it. And the thing that sucked was, I mean, I'm not saying this to take anything away from Aaron Rai, but the thing that sucked with that is that we still had like 2 or 3 groups to play, which kind of sucks, because now you're just sitting there watching, like, Smalley made an eagle, I think, on 16. And then Butch said, like, Butch was in the group chat saying, he's got a small chance here, but he had to make a hole in one. So, but anyways, and then Rahm, he finished second. Justin Thomas had a great day. Kurt Kitayama, both. I think they both shot 65 or 60, whatever. But and then Ludwig Oberg. Ludwig Oberg is, what's going on, B. McCormick? You just got to let me know if everything is going. BMO said we're good. So, if we're B. McCormick's here. But yeah, so overall, that's the top. The leaderboard, pretty much the entire tournament, was insane. About, people were complaining like nobody's running away with it. The pin condition or the pin selections. Like, there was, I think today, hole number 6, there was like 3 feet of green behind the hole. Like, it was absolutely insane. And it was like that the whole time. And, Scotty Scheffler, I've got some notes on this later, but so we'll get into that. But, everybody was complaining like nobody was running away with it. And, most of the guys who are used to running away with it weren't. And it's, Rory was complaining about that. And, like, I'm sitting there watching it, and there was like 30 some dudes today that were within like a couple of strokes. And it's like, to me, I can see both sides, but my brain, I even forgot we have Game 7 Cavs and Pistons going on here. Cavs are up by like 19. No, 21. I can't do math. Well, so we'll be tuning into that too. I'm watching it on my phone. I got softball over here. The softball regionals are going on. So, but but people were complaining about, Philly, and they were playing the course. They were complaining about the course, and the course fought back. And, most of the upper echelon players, like, nobody's really pulled away, and that means there's a bad course setup. And it's like, well, I don't know. Everybody's kind of doing the same thing. It was like we were watching we had a U.S. Open setup with open, like the British Open conditions, where the wind was whipping early, the first couple of days. And then we had basically a Masters feel where you had to kill the par 5s. Like, you had to do really good on the par 5s if you wanted to win this at this course. So everybody's talking about, oh, this is no fun, and it's not a good setup. And I'm sitting here watching, like, there's 30 people within a couple of strokes, and that's great because you're like, oh, this is all the parity I want. But at the same time, it screws up the enjoyment of like 2 or 3 guys going head to head, because you could have somebody come from way back that wins it that didn't play for like 3 hours. And that's what Justin Thomas kind of did. He teed off early today and went out there and shot a 65, made a sick putt on 18. It was awesome. So, you could see it either way, but to me, I kind of wanted to see I wanted to see somebody new win it. Like there were 10 actually, but the bad thing is there's been 10 in a row where a U.S. player has won the PGA Championship 10 years in a row. Now, there were 6 different countries represented in the leaderboard, like in the top like 10 or whatever it was that could win it. But our best chance was Schauffele and Smalley. So, and Justin Thomas, I guess, but he finished. He was a clubhouse leader in the clubhouse. Um, so I wanted an American to win it. Shout out me being selfish because it's America. And if you were British or whatever, you probably want to see Aaron Rai win it. So good for him. But anyways, Aaron Rai, he was like 6 under through his final 10 holes. Like he was piping balls down the middle. He was on the green where he needed to be. And then when he got a stranglehold, when he made he missed that eagle putt on the par 5 coming down the stretch, he made the birdie. That was kind of it. And then he made back-to-back birdies there, and that was over. So nobody could really catch him. We needed Smalley to do something heroic, and he just couldn't do it. But Aaron Rai he was just piping balls down the middle. He became the first player from England to win the PGA Championship in 107 years. Now, I'm mad because that, is this another guy that's going to be on the Ryder Cup? Shout out Ryder Cup. Ride or die. You could make a lot of Rai jokes. Drove to the levee, but the levee was Rai. Aaron Rai, the golf guy. But, I'm just mad because it looks like they're loading up more players for the Ryder Cup for the Europeans next year, and we're going to get our teeth kicked in again, and I don't like it. But, it's been 107 years since the British won the PGA Championship. I mean, that's almost Boston Tea Party numbers right there. B. McCormick says, our team's plays here in Pittsburgh. Are we going to the game? Dude, it's going to be a massacre. I don't care how many Aaron Rodgerses you have. I don't care if you traded that old gorilla or not. Now, if you watch a lot of golf, first of all, this is a win for people who wear 2 gloves in golf because Aaron Rai wears 2 gloves. Okay. Yes, B. McCormick. Bye-bye, Miss American Rai. Yes. Aaron Rai is a good golfer, but he wears the 2 gloves. It's his signature thing. It's phenomenal. I love it. Tommy 2 gloves out there. He had never finished better than 19th at a major tournament in his career. So he'd made one top 20, or he's made a couple of top 20s, one at the PGA, the U.S. Open, and the Open. But now he's exempt. Like he gets 5 years, I think, to all the majors. He gets, he's a lifelong member of the PGA. Like he gets 5 years on the tour. Like it was, like to win a major is huge. Like I was sitting there watching it and I'm like, man, it'd be cool to see Alex Smalley win it. See if the ACC can get on the board. But, Tommy 2 gloves. Also, like people get mad whenever it's like not the big people that win the majors. And I'm like, dude, give me somebody who gets their first. Like I love seeing people get their first major because it freaking changes their life, dude. So give me that. Like, what's wrong with that? Do I want to see, like, if you're going to win it, would I rather you be in the last pairing, at last 1 or 2 pairings? Yes. Like, I want to see a knockdown, drag out fist fight coming down the stretch. People were mad at this course because it was before the thing even stood course bit back, and the people that made the pin selections, they heard all the yapping and the jibber jabber about people, saying the course was overrated and it was going to be a bombers. We had Aldrich Potgieter and Minwoo Lee up there. Those are 2 dudes that hit the piss out of the golf ball. You're just hitting piss missiles left and right. Potgieter, and he's got just a great putting stance. Good for him. I took some notes here. But people were just ripping this course stretch saying, oh, it's going to be driver wedge and it's going to be all day. And then turns out all the pros talked about the greens being like, this is the hardest pin placement selection I've ever seen. All right, we're back. Holy moly. What in the world happened there? I got absolutely cooked right there. I'm not really sure exactly what happened there. All right, am I back? Am I back here? Anybody hear me? I got an echo in my um I've got an echo in my B. McCormick. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Where is this coming from? All right, am I back? All right. Okay. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. And I don't know. There we go. All right. Holy moly, guys. Wow. Okay, I'm back. Woo! I had to disconnect from disconnect from my home internet because I'm not really sure what happened. But we're back. I'm gonna have to go back and edit that. I'm gonna have to find some podcast software and edit that. Holy smokes! All right, B. McCormick says we're back. BMO says we're back. I guess we're back, but I'm on the phone internet, so we roll on. All right, everybody remember that was about 17 minutes in, so we'll download that and then upload it somewhere else. Anyways, okay, we're just gonna try to roll this way. Well, see what happened? We're having this project done in our yard, in our backyard, and the people who are digging up some of the gravel and the dirt at our house cut our internet line, and now it's been all weird ever since they cut it. So now I'm on the phone internet. So it's infuriating. But anyways, we roll on. We just see you got to be quick on your feet. Aaron Rai in the final round, ladies and gentlemen, had a 3-shot lead. Final group, he had a 3-shot lead whenever there was final group had 2 holes to play. He went 70 in the first round, 69 in the second round. Nice. Round 3, 67, and 65 round 4. Okay. B. McCormick says, got you here. Seems fine now. Okay. All right, good. I'm gonna have to go back and edit that in some sort of audio software, which kind of sucks because that always takes me forever to do. But anyways, sometimes you get thrown curveballs and then you got to hit them out of the park. So, but anyways, Aaron Rai, Tommy 2 gloves, decreasing his score, getting better. See, everybody's complaining about, the conditions this, the conditions that, the pin placement's this. All he did was go out there and just get better every day. He did exactly what Notre Dame does when they slap that thing, when they run out onto the field. They play like a champion today. He was 17. He was plus 17, 17,500 to win the PGA Championship. This is from BR Betting on Twitter. by the odds, his win is more unlikely than the Raiders winning a Super Bowl, Malik Willis winning MVP, and the Cardinals winning the World Series. So that's the kind of realm he was in, especially with all the big names up there early. You know, you had Rahm and McElroy and Scheffler. Like, they were all within like 2 or 3 strokes. You know what I mean? Like, they were within a few strokes when this thing started. So, like, everybody was sitting there complaining and doing all this. And all he did was go out there and play golf. He just, hey, you know what he did? He said, spot the ball. He footballed the golf. He said, you know what? Yes, it's windy. Yes, it's doing all this stuff. And I gotta say, this tournament, like, ESPN, when they get a hold of any type of sporting event, they make it into let's highlight Scott Van Pelt and let's highlight all the guests that we're going to pull on. And I think Scott Van Pelt's really aware of it because people are like, okay, here's ESPN does. Wright Thompson is, again, he did it for the Masters, he did it for the PGA. They hire Wright Thompson to come in and write every interlude into a commercial that they possibly can. Like, they get the PGA Championship for like 2 hours this morning, and it's like 17 soliloquies and monologues about winning and champions. And it's like, dude, just show us golf, man. Like, that's all I want to do is watch golf. You know, but there was some cut day drama too, because shout out to our guy Mike Kim. On Friday, he dunked it from off the green. Justin Rose chipped in from off the green to get to 3 over to make the cut. I mean, the cut was 4 over, I think. Fleetwood missed the cut. You know, there was a couple of big name guys that missed the cut, but Rose holed one out, and then he ended up finished 3 under. So, yeah. But, you know, so that, and then on Saturday, yesterday, we had some darts being thrown, especially early. And I just want to say that shout out to Mike Kim again yesterday. Went and was on fire early on Saturday morning. Justin Rose had a great day yesterday too. I want to shout out 2 things that I noticed. Rory McIlroy yesterday and today, for that matter. Scotty didn't wear blue today, by the way. He knew he couldn't win. So that's, you know, we've been keeping an eye on that. Scotty's been trying out this Sunday blue. When he wins, he usually has blue on. I don't know if he's picking up or if he's not accepting the reality though. So, but I want to talk about 2 things that I noticed. Rory, his shirts are way too baggy now. I don't know if he had his sleeves seem too long and his shirts are too baggy. Usually he wears a more fitted shirt, but his sleeves, they're way too long. I mean, that's an Adam Scott look, right? That's Adam Scott's got the long sleeve polo, not the, like, it's still a short sleeve polo, but it's still like the sleeves are like down to his elbows almost. Like, and Rory was sporting 2 of those this weekend. I don't know if he's getting a little bit of a dad bod. I don't know. And this is okay, dude. I'm a dad. Look, things do not look like they used to. Like, I'm trying everything I can, but you know, is that why he's wearing a little bit of a more baggy shirt? I mean, I noticed that. Like, people are going to talk about that. But I'm telling you right now, Roy's shirt was a little baggy compared. You know, I don't know what that was about, but normally he's got a tighter fit, but the shirt looked a little baggy. And then Keith Mitchell, dude, like, I love me some Keith Mitchell, man. Like, Keith Mitchell, he's got this giant, like, Kirby Smart visor. And I think he's a Georgia guy. I'm pretty sure Keith Mitchell played at Georgia. I'm pretty sure he's a dog. Yeah, there you go. So that, I mean, he's basically trying to look like Kirby Smart. Now, what I would suggest to Keith Mitchell is, hey, dude, I see how big the front of your visor is getting. And I'm saying, like, every week he should just make it like 2 millimeters taller. And by the end of the season, he just got like a Doug Dimmadome 10-gallon, just absolutely outlandish front of his visor. Just, that would be the funniest. Like, if I was making a golf spoof movie, like a golf funny movie, I would make a visor that's just like really tall in the front that has a giant sponsor, like Ricky Bobby, that thing, Keith Mitchell. But you could tell that he's got the big, fat, wide brim visor. Like, you know what he's doing there. So there was a good couple of notes from the other thing. Following Aaron Rai's win today marks the first time that a European player have won the first 2 majors of a season since the beginning of the current 4-major era, dating back to 1934. Rory won the Masters from Northern Ireland, and then Aaron Rai, an Englishman, won the PGA Championship. So, like, come on, guys. Like, come on, America. We need some golfers here. Come on now. Yeah. So We got to get that straightened out. Gosh, I'm just sitting here thinking about how I have to edit that audio. I have to download some sort of podcasting app and then cut out that 3 minutes, or I could just like, I don't know. I think I fixed it pretty quick. I think I was down for like 2 minutes, so who knows? Now, Aaron Rai wears two gloves, but he also uses iron covers. And most of the time, whenever you hear people, you see the iron covers, like you'll be like, "Oh, that dude, like, why are we using iron covers? Like, nobody uses those." However, I read why he did, and he said, "quote to remember where I came from and respect the things that I have." He said his family was not well off growing up, and it was to protect the clubs his dad had worked so hard to buy for him. Shout out you, dude. Nobody should make fun of the iron covers. Like, normally you would, but that reason, that's good. Hey, golf clap, dude. And now you're a major champion, dude. Thanks, B. McCormick. You said it wasn't down too long. Shouldn't be too bad. You got to think on your feet, dude. I went straight to the hot spot. I'm working off a hot spot on my phone, so it's interesting. Sometimes the StreamYard screws up too, so I don't know, but we had to do with what we needed to do with. I was going to go for my phone, but oh well. Also, Aaron Rai, shout out you, dude. This is the second Ricky Bobby reference we've had in the last 2 minutes. Aaron Rai was the dude on, was it Friday or Saturday, who signed a baby, like literally signed a baby's onesie. Now, good for them for letting him sign the onesie. Like, good for him, dude. He's over there signing babies' onesies. Now, Arana Mink, I took this picture when I was working out on Saturday. Thank you, B. McCormick. I said something as soon as I could. Yeah, I appreciate that. The people who teed off the late schedule on the first round and the early window of the second round, we got absolutely hosed because it was the late first round, the wind picked up, and then early in the second round, the wind stayed up. So you could tell that it was almost 20 shots worse in the late round. So this is when they were interviewing Rory and Scotty and all these guys, being like, they just walk out of there like somebody like punched them in the face. They're like, I don't know what just happened. They were just swinging in the dark. Like your buddy who's at the bar who's like, yeah, like let's go. These guys over here were talking about it, and you look at him like he's just trying to get in a bar fight and he's just swinging at nobody. So you've all had that one dude in your friend group that does that. Rory's, he says he sounded off on I think this was after Friday or Saturday. I can't remember. He said, quote, I think a bunch leaderboard like this, I think it's a sign of a not great setup. It hasn't really enabled anyone to separate themselves. And it's like, dude, well, I don't understand that. He's a professional golfer. He plays more golf than I do, obviously. Like, he's one of the best in the world. But I'm just like, you look at that and you're like, I think sometimes these guys are frustrated that they didn't play as well as they normally do, and they're used to being on above everybody else. So whenever they're down there in the muck with everybody else, they're kind of confused. They don't know what to do with their hands. Fourth Ricky Bobby reference. Holy smokes! It's just Ricky Bobby all night. And Scotty said the same thing, where it's like, these are tough pin placements and so on and so forth. Nobody's been able to separate themselves. And, I don't know what the PGA is doing. And, they always go at the course, or they always go at the people who run the show, whatever. So, and it's like, and then Rory today late, he saw there was a fan. I don't know if a fan was heckling him, but he was pointing into Rory couldn't hit the fairway, dude. Like, honestly, Rory, like you could not hit the fairway. Scotty on Saturday, or was it yesterday? Like, he just kept missing putts inside of 10 feet. And it's like, or outside of one of the two. Like, Scotty was missing putts that he should have been making. Like, I don't know what to tell you, and I love Scotty. And it's one of those things where it's like, these guys are complaining about the setup, and it's like, Rory, you hit like 4 fairways. Like, what do you want to do with that? You're hitting out of the schmutz. You can't control the spin on the ball when you hit it out of the rough because you're not driving the ball like where you're supposed to. So this was, you had to either hit it really far down the fair into the rough or close to the hole, or you had to hit it in the fairway. And if you didn't, you got punished. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. And you have to make short putts. So Scotty, man, that's what Scotty said. He said, this is the hardest set of pin locations I've ever seen since being on tour. And that includes U.S. Opens. That includes Oakmont. So, it wasn't, I appreciated it because it was like, you always love seeing, you don't want to see, like, I don't want to see anybody run away with it. I know these guys would love to run away with it and be 10 strokes ahead. Like, they're competitors. Like, I get it from their standpoint. But as a fan, like, when there's 30 people that can win the tournament on Saturday, I'm like, this is freaking awesome. It's going to set up for absolute nonsense on Sunday. That's what I want. Give it to me. So, and then one of the biggest stories that they just kept, and, they were doing this thing at ESPN where they were asking golfers questions of like, just like, what about Philly? How much does a Liberty Bell weigh? Or, all this stuff. And it's just like, you could see some of these golfers, their personalities are like, they don't have a lot of personality. Like, they play golf and like they're individual athletes. And it's like, they're not used to being part of a team and so on and so forth. And so it's, that's one of the biggest problems with the TGL league is like, they think that like they can showcase the golfers' personalities. And then you put a mic in front of them and it's like, they don't have anything to say. And it's like, well, what are you going to showcase? However, Garrick Higgo, he was the guy who was, 2 seconds late to his tee time, got a 2-stroke penalty. I think was it Thursday or Friday? I can't remember. Got a 2-stroke penalty, ended up missing the cut by 1 stroke. And so they just kept showing this guy all Friday and Saturday, or Friday mainly. Like, they just, like, Thursday, he missed the cut or missed the time or missed his tee time. And then he went out there and shot 1 under or something. So, but he had an all-time quote. He said, the rule is if you're 1 second late, you're late. I was obviously on time, but late. 1 second is tough to define. So it's like, and the internet went absolutely crazy with this. ESPN went crazy with this. Like, they had Jeff Darlington do like a walk from the putting green around the corner to get to the tee box. And he's like, it takes 48 seconds. And I'm like, dude, like, we need to be able to talk about something else. Like, that can't be the only storyline. Like, we're trying to make something out of nothing here. So it was just absolutely insane. But anyways, so Garrick Higgo was late, and it just dominated the first 2 days of the tournament. And then he missed the cut by 1 stroke, and that made it even worse. So it was kind of just, the internet's over there saying, this is the problem with millennials, and and it's like, are we really trying to extrapolate all that out of just, he was late, dude. It's his own fault. He will be punished for it. It probably cost him a lot of money. Like, we don't have to go any further than that. But day 1, when he was late, he shot a 69. And day 2, when he was on time, he shot a 76. Maybe he was trying to prove a point. He's also got fantastic hair. He's a lefty too. So, but all I could see when he had his hair up like that, if you're an avid golf watcher, about Miguel Angel Jimenez smoking cigars on the course, doing his crazy stretches. I'm like, this guy has a chance to be the next Miguel Angel Jimenez if he plays his cards right. So, and then some other sights and sounds from the PGA. Some dudes built a huge platform behind the tee at 14 at Aronimink so they could watch the PGA Championship. Is Philly a good sports town? I don't know. The Knicks took over the 76ers, so is Philly more of a golf town than it is a basketball town? Up for debate. It was a good move, though. Also, you had this guy who had like the shadow box binoculars, which was freaking hysterical. He had that's pretty funny. That's like something you'd make in a science project. Incredible. And I don't know what this guy's doing with his bag of shirts tied to his, clothes there, or his belt. That's some weird stuff. But the PGA Championship, holy smokes, we spent 35 minutes on it. It's way more I thought I'd spend on it. But I love golf. I love the majors. Like, my dad and I used to, my brothers and I, we would float around in the pool and watch golf in the backyard. It's spectacular. My son's getting into it. He enjoyed watching it. So I love the majors. And I thought it was good. I was hopeful we were going to get a shootout coming down the stretch, and then didn't happen. So whatever. But hey, guess what? Next month, we get the U.S. Open, and we get another chance. So good for us. I think it's everything I had for that. So, all right. Let's switch gears. The Buffalo Sabres, G.U.Y.S, back off the ledge. I don't know how many Undertaker gifts he sent coming out of the coffin, but the Sabre, what did they win? 8-3. The other night, was it Saturday night? Was it? Yes, yesterday. It was yesterday. 8-3. Like they got down 3, like they were down 3-1 early. I'm pretty sure they scored first, and then the Canadiens just poured it on them. Rasmus Dahlin went ham bones. He I think he scored in like the first 30 seconds. But Dahlin they used their captain. He had 5 points. He had a goal and 4 assists. So Tage Thompson had 4 points. Jack Quinn had 2 goals. Like there was a picture of some dude who wore a Jack Quinn jersey into the mouth of the Canadiens. Their goalie was all out of sorts. I mean, there was just it was an absolute electric factory of a first period. It was 3-2. Like it was absolutely insane. The first period, you're just like, what the hell is going on here? Alex Lyons couldn't stop anything. Dobosh couldn't stop anything. Like, I don't even know what Dobosh's his save percentage was 82. Like 82%. The Sabres, like in the second period on, like halfway through the second period on, they just absolutely stepped on the gas. Like the Canadiens didn't have like they didn't have the shot discrepancy was outrageous. Pekka Luukkonen, I mean, he didn't give up any goals, and they made the switch. And that's my big thing about having, the 2 goalie system is like, yeah, you have 2 goalies, good for you, but they're not used to playing excessive minutes. So, they start to like flounder around. Their body, their brain, their nervous system is not used to it. But Pekka Luukkonen didn't give up a goal. Lions gave up 3 goals. So, but from like the second half of the second period on, the Sabres just kicked the wheels off of the Canadiens. J-Bi was talking like the Canadiens can't claim they have a hostile environment, this and that, if they keep giving up all these, if they're 3-3, at the Bell Center. So J-Bi was feeling himself last night for sure. But now we get a game 7. So, I mean, 8-3, like that's I won a game 7. Like we wanted a game 7 for the NBA, won a game 7 for hockey. Like just give me all the game 7s, But the Canadiens, after the 3-goal period in the first, they didn't have anything. Dobosh just didn't seem to have his bearings about him. So, and the Sabres just played hard. Good for them. Let me see something here. I wanted to. Where's the box score? That's what I wanted to see. But anyways, the big guns for the Sabres stepped up yesterday. Good for them. They scored 7 straight goals. Holy smokes, dude. They were down 3-1 and then scored 7 straight goals. Holy smokes. What an absolute show that was. And we're waiting on, I think we have the schedule for the Sabres are the first team in NHL history to be down by multiple goals on the road in a playoff game, but end up winning by 5 or more goals. So these games, like the Canadiens won 5-1. Then the Canadiens won 6-2. Then the Sabres won 3-2. Then the Canadiens won 6-3. And it's like they haven't really been particularly close. So, but there you go. Electric. Give us a game 7. Okay. Some other hockey news, ladies and gentlemen. Cutter Gauthier said he broke his L1 and L2 vertebrae. This is from the guy from the Ducks. This is why we love hockey playoffs. Broke his L1 and L2 vertebrae on March 30th. And then he returned in 2 weeks later. He returned 2 weeks later on April 12th and played the entire postseason. So this dude, LeBron's getting carried off for cramps, and this guy broke his back and went back and played 2 weeks later. That's why, like, the hockey playoffs, it doesn't matter if your team's in it or not. I mean, whatever. But I love seeing the viewership and the popularity of hockey growing because people are starting to understand, like, this is one of the greatest. This is one of the, in my opinion, one of the top 2 sports we have. So, Game 7 for the Sabres Canadiens tomorrow, 7:30. It's going to be absolutely electric. Here's the actual schedules for the conference finals. I mean, you've got Vegas and Colorado, the Avalanche. And that dude, the Vegas. What was the score of that game the other night? Mitch Marner went berserker mode. It was 5-1. It wasn't ever even close, which sucks because we needed a game. We wanted a Game 7 there too, but Mitch Marner had a sick goal. He had 2 points. Shea Theodore had 2 points, but that Mitch Marner goal from the Vegas was absolutely filth. But the West is going to be Colorado and Vegas, and then the East will be Carolina and whoever wins tomorrow. So the Eastern Conference playoffs or conference championship will be Thursday. That'll start Thursday, May 21st. Western starts Wednesday. Shout out anniversary to me and my wife, 10 years, no big deal. Wednesday will be our first game for the Western Conference, our first hockey game, which is kind of nice. So we'll get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're going to alternate, which is going to be absolutely electric. It's going to be, that's good. Way to go. We're going to get 2 weeks of hockey. I hope both of these go 7. We need it. And then the originally planned Stanley Cup final schedule would start on June 4th, which is a Thursday. So there we go. All the way through June 20th. And then it'll be July, and then we'll have the heat of baseball coming up. And Little League World Series, College World Series is somewhere in there coming up. And then it'll be football. We'll have to get through July, where we'll have the British Open, and then basically it's football. There we go. And then here's a fun stat for you, bunch of hockey puckheads. Barring an injury, for the 46th consecutive season, a former teammate of Jaromir Jagr will appear in the Stanley Cup final. Brett Kulak of the Avalanche or Rasmus Anderson for the Golden Knights. Kulak had a game winner the other night, too. He scored the overtime winner against the Wild, I think. Yeah, good for him. And then 3 minutes of NBA. Like I said, we're currently monitoring the Pistons versus the Cavs currently, and the Cavaliers are absolutely smoking them, which they did already show the graphic. Like, this is going to be hilarious because apparently the ESPN already had a graphic made for the Knicks versus the Cavs, and now the Cavs are up by, is that 34? Ha! There's 8 minutes to go. That puppy's over. The Cavs are destroying them. So that's over. So there's your 3 minutes of NBA, and then it'll be the Knicks versus the Cavs, barring a miracle, which we've seen in sports. The other day we had one. Barring a miracle. And the Spurs and OKC, because the Spurs won the other night when Anthony Edwards shook hands with the Spurs with like 8 minutes to go. So that's 3 minutes of NBA. Plus, we got this guy, the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, Tom Dundon, who also owns the Hurricanes, says the media criticism won't change how he runs a team. He previously faced criticism over reported cost-cutting measures, including not bringing two-way players on his road trips, and making staffers check out of the hotel early, so on and so forth. And he said, "quote I'm not just going to waste $100 million because someone wants to write an article calling me cheap." Since he bought the team, he also said the other day how he addressed the hotel situation in Phoenix after not paying for a late checkout for staff, and he said, "I would do it again if it's too hard for people. I'm not right for them. I want that culture." Dude, the culture of, hey, making people check out and then kind of stand around not doing anything, and the fact that you're not willing to make the extra effort for your employees means that you probably bought the team and didn't realize how much everything costs. And that's not really a culture. A culture is like, hey, we stay late and we show up. But if you're saying, hey, I'm not going to pay for you to do this, then it's basically going to create a culture of, well, that guy's cheap. I don't want to work for that guy. He's kind of a jerk. That's the culture you're going to create. It's going to backfire. Everybody now knows that you are willing to save money, and you'll say, well, how do you think I got in this position? If you want to get in this position, then you do what you need to do. And it's like, yeah, well, maybe I don't want to step all over everybody to get to somewhere like that where everybody thinks I'm a jerk because I don't care that much about money. Maybe how about that? But now your culture is going to be, that guy's cheap, don't work for him. And then You're going to get players that don't want to play for you. You're going to get people that don't want to work for you. So why don't you just pay for the late checkout, dude? So how about that? Anyways, that's 3 minutes of NBA. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't care. Well, time to hit the football. So we talked golf, we talked hockey, did a little basketball. Now, as B. McCormick so eloquently put it, he said 17 Sundays until the first snap of the NFL season. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Let's hit somebody. Is there a football drop out there? Anybody?
Football? Yay, yay.
Here we go. Halfway, what are we? Almost 100 days to football. Schedule release. So we're going to go through. I had everybody's schedule up here to go through. And I was going to get their opinion on their team schedule, but it looks like they're not here to speak for their team. So I'll have to speak for them. For the Bills, J.U.Y.S is a Bills fan. Tex and Butch P are Cowboys. Dylon's a Vikings. Edge is a Panthers, even though he won't admit it. And then I'm a 49ers fan. So we're going to have to go through the schedule. But the NFL, so Ari Meirov, and there's some backlash on Roger Goodell because of all the streaming services and so on and so forth. The NFL's viewing point on adding more games to standalone windows, because they're all about creating these primetime standalone windows, including Wednesdays, is that more football for fans is only a good thing. NFL executive Hans Schroeder said today, the league believes that it is being validated by the ratings it continues to generate. At this point, the league does not appear to believe that it's a tipping point where it starts to feel excessive. Let me tell you from a fan's perspective, not Hans Schroeder or Roger Goodell, who only looks at how the ratings look, but from a fan's perspective and anything that you love, if you have too much football, if you have too much of anything, you eventually, well, yes, he is. Edge is a Panthers fan. Yes, you are, dude. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Damn it, Edge. You broke my train of thought, dude. Dad, blame it. But let me speak from a fan's perspective, not Hans Schroeder, not Roger Goodell, who look at this strictly from, we're growing the game. Everybody's still watching, because everybody in ESPN now, in the NFL, they are one now. They are together, think that ratings mean everything. No, dude. As a fan who watches almost every football game, or as much football as I possibly can, including my favorite teams, yes. Like a lot of fans, they will watch their favorite team. Me, because we get to talk about it, and I love to talk about football, I watch so much football. You can ask my wife. She has probably never met anybody who watches more football than me. Guarantee it. I'll tell you that right now. And in order to appreciate football, is that there is urgency with football. And if you create the lack of urgency of like, hey, Sundays, that's the day. I mean, you're going to create all kinds of arguments in the households, Roger Goodell and Hans Schroeder. Like, hey, sorry, we can't go out because we have to watch football because it's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Like, we used to have, hey, we watch Monday Night Football, then you get Tuesday and Wednesday off, and then there's a Thursday night game, and then you get Friday and Saturday off if you only watch NFL. But if you're like us, we watch Friday and Saturday too. So I'm telling you right now, okay, you need to create some separation of, yeah, if there's football on, people are going to watch it. That's not the point. But you need to have a few days off to let that football digest. You don't just keep eating sweets because you like sweets because the ratings are good. You can't do that. You'll get diabetes. You might get football diabetes from having too much football on. And I'm not one to complain about having too much football, because I will watch it. But I'll hate watch it because I'm like, man, I need to not be watching this and do something else so I can miss football, so I can appreciate it. So that's my thought on too much football. Also, I was listening to an interesting piece by a guy who was talking about, cable networks versus streaming networks, and the NFL is kind of, Roger Goodell's, they're making so much money, they're untouchable. But it was an interesting piece. I can't remember who the guy was. He worked at ESPN, and he said, the cable networks operate in a loss to football. So football knows that they can say, hey, it's going to cost you $3 billion to keep the rights to play our game, or to broadcast our games, but they're only going to generate $2 million of revenue. So they're operating at like $1 billion debt right now, or deficit. You know, and eventually that gap is going to grow because these streaming services, you know, these Netflix and Primes, and like they're tech companies too. Like, they're not media companies, they're tech. Like, they have everything. And so these guys can pay whatever. And so Roger Goodell is running over to them. What's going to end up happening is NBC, Fox, CBS, like, they're not going to be able to keep up eventually if Roger Goodell keeps pushing this envelope toward the tech companies. But the other issue is that football with the cable networks is king, but football with streaming networks is not king, because those things can go do something else. They can go make phones. They can go make streaming services. They can, you know, so on and so forth. Like, so football won't be the big dog, but Goodell won't have to worry about that. So he's just creating a problem for somebody else to deal with. But, you know, and then eventually the pendulum will swing where the networks are the big dogs again. So anyways, that's, you know, whatever. But the NFL Monday Night Football schedule, how about that? First one, September 14th. I mean, that's, you know, what are we talking about? 4 months from now? I mean, come on now. 100 less, you know, around 100 days. You kidding me? The first Monday night game? Let's go. Chiefs Broncos, that means they're basically forcing Mahomes and Bo Nix to play. You can't I said they're gonna get football diabetes. You can't. What is it with the Giants? What is it with the Giants? They're getting so many. It's the NFC East, man. I'm telling you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, you know, half the damn games are NFC East teams on Monday night. I'm telling the NFC East is they're making that the SEC. I mean, they should just, you know, send Wright Thompson over there to write a piece. So, holy moly. But Monday night schedule, the 49ers are on there once. They get to play the Commanders in October. You know, the Cowboys are on there a couple times. The Eagles are on there, it seems like 3 or 4 times. Holy smokes. The Chiefs are on there twice. So, but anyways, pretty good Monday night schedule. I mean, I think they're doing a better job of, like, you can't just hand out. Nobody's going to watch a Monday night football game of, like, the Titans and Raiders. Like, we're going to watch it, but all it's going to be is negative feedback, right? So, yeah. B. McCormick says, once football season here, that's all we do. I mean, you're right, dude. Like, that's what we're going to do. Like, we're going to watch. I'm going to watch the games, but I'm just saying, me personally, it's like somebody who likes to talk about them and we do shows about it. It's like, whoa, you know. But hey, so, but it's a good time. I love football too, B. McCormick. I love it. Here's your Sunday night football. Are we gonna Mike Tomlin on the road? We're gonna get the Mike Tomlin. Is he gonna have a losing record with his picks? You know what I'm saying? The Sunday night football game, and then we get Super Bowl rematch. That's on Wednesday, and then later that night, of course, we get, you know, of course, Cowboys and Giants are on every other week on Sunday night football. It gives a rip about the Giants. 2 franchises we haven't done diddly poo in decades are gonna get all the games. So, but they really put a lot of thought into these too. Like, there's a lot of good, you know, in some of these games we're going to look at and be like, oh my gosh, like, what happened here? You know, but the 49ers get a couple, and then they've got these, you know, a couple down late. I think the Giants and Cowboys are going to be top team for that division. This needs to be both teams. But yeah, I would honestly, I would be surprised if the Giants won the division, quite honestly. And then we've got the Thursday night schedule here. Kicks off. Oh, there's Tex. There he is. Tex, we're talking football.
Let's do it.
By the way, I lost signal on my internet for a couple minutes there. I don't know what happened, so I got kicked. So I'm running off my phone now. Just yelling about how basically all of Monday Night Football is NFC East matchups. Boy, Well, it's BS, dude.
That's America. It's the hardest conference in football, the most electric football.
That's what I said. It's the SEC of the NFL.
Yep. Thank you. It's just different here.
The cheat, and then there's the Thursday night game. So, the Thursday night games. All right, Tex. Christmas schedule leaked. Which schedule do you like better? Do you like the Christmas schedule or do you like the Thanksgiving schedule? Let me read the games to you. So on Christmas, you get Christmas Eve.
Before you even start.
What?
The Thanksgiving, 100%.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's not even.
Thanksgiving is football.
Yeah. I think football is Thanksgiving. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got a Christmas Eve matchup and then a Christmas triple header. I can't.
Those aren't bad games for the Christmas triple header.
No, I mean, you've got Bears, Packers, Broncos, Bills, Rams, Seahawks, Texans, Eagles. Like, they're good games, but it's Christmas, dude.
Meaningful games, too.
Yeah, well, they should be.
Well, I would rather have Christmas than anything else on Christmas, or football than anything else on Christmas. I don't get into basketball on Christmas. I just like.
No.
Because it's like the last, we're dwindling down the football at Christmas.
Yeah.
Bowl, pretty much, and then this.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like I don't know. I just feel like I like enjoying Christmas too much. Like football, like Thanksgiving. I grew up watching football on Thanksgiving. Christmas, they've just inserted it within the last few years. You know what I mean? Like, that's the issue that I have, is like I can't work it into my holiday timeline, you know?
I can't.
Because I feel like Christmas, you kind of get a break. Now, you'd always get those couple of, like, once every 6 or 7 years, Christmas falls on a Sunday and you get football on Christmas, which is awesome. But, you know, they're trying to make it a thing, and I just haven't gotten fully into it yet because I love watching Christmas movies and listening to Christmas music.
I'm more about this than I am a Wednesday night game to start the season.
Yeah. I just went on a rant about how they need to let us miss football for a few days.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said earlier. Like, the thing that made football so special is you had to wait till Sunday and then one game Monday night if your parents let you stay up. And now every week I'm not about it, or every day of the week, and I'm not about it. We're having opening day be opening week.
Well, Goodell's going to cause all kinds of problems with marriages and stuff because, hey, what do you want to do tonight? You want to go to eat? Do they have a bar? Do they have a TV so I can watch football on Wednesday or Tuesday or Monday or Thursday or Friday? Like, come on. We need to be able to miss football. We're going to that's what I said. You can't eat sweets all the time. Yep. Even though sweets have really good gradings, you'll get diabetes. And I said, we're going to give ourselves football diabetes.
That's also why I can't watch. I have a hard time watching and getting into the XFL because I need to miss it.
Yes.
To really get it.
Yep. I agree. Like, I want to miss it. I want to be like, oh, like part of like loving football is you can be like, man, I miss football. But if it's on all the time, I don't get to miss it.
Yep. I really wish, I think that they would have a better shot at getting people to watch their games if they moved that season later into the summer. So that way, like July 4th.
Yes.
Like the 31st, you're dwindling down the XFL season.
Yep.
And then the XFL season's kicking back, is about to kick off. And so people get more there's nothing else to watch, number one. And number two, people are going to be really starving for football. They're going to be that'll be the end of the year of starvation of football.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the schedule. Like, the Stanley Cup ends June 20th. The NBA ends around the same time. And then it's like you're looking forward to like Wimbledon or something in July or the British Open, you know?
Yeah, not the British Open.
That's all you have left.
Yeah.
They should play it up in the Pacific Northwest or the
Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yeah. Like, we're over here like talking about, you know.
Last thing you get. If they made the Home Run Derby cool again, maybe you could watch that. Like, give me the Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds battle, Sammy Sosa.
Yes. Give me the old home run derby format.
Every home run gets its own soliloquy.
Well, yeah, like they do it now. You can't watch it go into the you can't get it to go watch it go into the night, you know?
Yep.
It's stupid. Here's the Thanksgiving football one. Nice schedule here too. But this is what it was. People forget last year at Christmas, it was supposed to be awesome. It was Commanders Cowboys, and you know, Jaden Daniels was hurt and all the Cowboys were hurt, and it was Patrick Mahomes got hurt, you know, like it was, and you know, Joe Burrow was hurt. Like the Christmas schedule or the you know, it sucked because all the people got hurt. So this is a great schedule. Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, Packers, Rams. We just got to make sure everybody stays healthy. So I was saying this Thanksgiving Eve game is like, if we were in college,
that would be, we would not remember that game. That's exactly what
you would know. Like if we were in college, we'd be home.
The most TiVo'd game in history because nobody would remember it.
Yes. Well, we would have. What we would have done is we would have gone to the bar and probably made a parlay and bet it with all of our hometown friends or somebody's house party, and we would have sat there and like all been hugging each other, jumping up and down like those outfitters that were hip thrusting each other the other night. That would have been like the Thanksgiving Eve party, you know?
Yeah. Everybody brings a side.
Yep. Most primetime games, the Rams have 7. That's true. Maru's right. We would have never been home on Thanksgiving Eve playoffs. Exactly. It's exactly right. We would have been doing the Thanksgiving up in Boone. The Packers, Chiefs, Bills, Seahawks have 6, and then the Cowboys, Niners, Eagles, Bears, Patriots have 5. Teams that have 0 primetime games, the Jets, for obvious reasons, the Cardinals, they stink. The Dolphins are going to stink. The Raiders, it's odd, 2 years in a row, they gave their number 1 picks 0 primetime games. Cam Ward, 2nd year in a row, no primetime games. Do they have something against first-round picks now? So some are saying. All right. We got to predict the record of our teams, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say the Niners are favored, I think, in every game but like 4 or 5. So, Rams probably going to lose that game because they don't want the 49ers. The Goodell hates the 49ers and Shanahan. Going to beat the Dolphins, going to beat the Cardinals, going to beat the Broncos. At Seattle, they'll win that game because they always win the early game against Seattle. So it'll be 4-1 there.
He only hates him because he figured out that power plant was causing the problems.
No, he hates him because Shanahan had a cool logo idea for his hat. And he's like, you can't wear that. And now all the hats look like Shanahan's hats. So we're looking at what? 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have no idea what logo you're talking about.
You don't?
Nope.
So we're looking at 5-2 at the bye. Boom. Then we come out, we smoke the Cowboys, we smoke the Vikings. So now we're 8-2. Probably lose that one against Seahawks at home. 8-3. Beat the Giants 9-3. Win the second game against the Rams 10-3. Thursday night game, probably lose to the Chargers 10-4 at the Chiefs. Finally beat the Chiefs 11-4. Crush the Eagles because we always do 12-4 at Cardinals 13-4. Call it number 1 seed. 13-4. Niners. Yep.
No.
The Shanahats. 13-4 sounds good to me, dude.
I don't think so.
I guess that's pretty good. And then the Cowboys with their stupid schedule that you can't even read, like they're running through space and time. What the hell is this? You're the Dallas Cowboys, not the Star Wars team.
The future is Cowboys.
Yeah, right, dude. What are you thinking here? Do you need me to zoom in?
I'm 13-4 also.
Okay, so you're saying we're playing for the NFC. Well, since the Niners are going to beat the Cowboys, we'll have the tiebreaker and be the 1 seed.
And I'm pretty sure we're only going to lose once in division.
Which one?
Probably the last game against the Redskins. because we'll be resting
13-4. There's a good chance that the Cowboys start 0-5.
We're gonna be resting all of our starters.
0-6. They could be 0-6.
Mm-mm.
They could lose to the Giants. Then they could lose to the Commanders, and then the Ravens, then the Texans. They're not playing against that defense. The Bucks, that's a Thursday night game. The Packers, the Eagles, they could be 0-6. They could be 0-7 before they get their first win.
all the way to November?
Yeah, dude. The Cowboys might not win a game until November.
J.Y., if you're listening to this, put it on the big board. AK has to eat his own hat.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 games until November 1st. If I say their win total is 3.5, I take the under. I say they don't win more than 3 games.
Okay. All right.
Big board me. Cowboys are going to be. We're at November 1st. You're going to be like, are the what is Dak Prescott's legacy is going to be the question.
12 all 12 jelly donuts. Line on it. 12 jelly donuts in a row.
I'll do it whenever we're together on Thanksgiving. We'll just set up a camera and I'll just the jelly screen, the jelly cam.
Yeah.
All right, so Cowboys, you're saying 13-4. I say they're not going to win. They're not going to win 3 games by November.
I would also say that if that happened, AK wouldn't get past 6 jelly donuts.
You setting the over under?
Yeah,
I'm going to give myself football diabetes and literal diabetes.
that's right.
We don't have to do the Bills and the Vikings. They're not here. We can't do it.
Look at it. I just want to look at them.
Okay.
I'm going to give my thoughts.
Okay. The Bills schedule.
10-7.
10-7. Wild card team again.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even win their own division.
No, cannot.
I don't know. I think the Patriots are going to suck this year. So
I think Patriots are going to be down, but the Dolphins are going to be up.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I would take the Jets over the Dolphins if you're going to make a bold.
Put it on the big board, J.Y. Patriots.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay. 10-7. There you go, Bills. Viking. This is by far the worst. The worst actual schedule is the Vikings schedule that they put out. Like, this thing is impossible to read. Like, look at this.
Who they're actually playing, where they're playing, when they're playing.
Like they've got giant letters with different. This is just the worst schedule I've ever seen. Like, literal schedule that they made. It's terrible. It's not phonetic. Like, it has no flow to it. So I don't know. And then this is a nice schedule. Good for the Panthers. They play the Hall of Fame game. Hell yeah. Good for the Panthers, dude.
Vikings, by the way. 7-10.
7-10, agreed. Shout out the Panthers being the Hall of Fame game. And they also said they weren't extending Bryce Young before the season. Yikes.
Bills preseason? Okay, I want to go back. I'm just trying to look at my schedule here.
Yeah, they play the Cardinals, the Bills, and the Jags in the preseason.
I think they're going to be 9-8.
Again? 2 years in a row? They have the Bears at home. I would love for them to beat the Bears. That'd be freaking hilarious. They could start 3-0. I could see them beating the Bears, the Browns, and the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them being 3-1 going, and they'll be the team that everybody's like, oh, hey, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers now have reached an agreement on a 1-year deal. He's officially reuniting with the Steelers and their new head coach, Mike McCarthy, for the 26th season. Finally.
No shocker. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just sick and tired of asking where he's at. I don't care if he plays or not, honestly. I don't know why people spend so much time and effort on him. So I don't get it. This also led us to another trade. The Pittsburgh Zoo agreed to trade a 7-year-old male gorilla, Frankie, to Boston in exchange for a 33-year-old silverback gorilla, Little Joe. And I think Boston got fleeced because they got a 7-year-old gorilla who I guess was too much of a lock. Yeah. I mean, who? I also think Aaron Rodgers specifically timed his news of coming back to the Steelers to steal the shot of this gorilla, this new gorilla in town in Pittsburgh. I think he's so insecure that he saw Little Joe getting a lot of media time being from the Pittsburgh, coming to the Pittsburgh Zoo, that he was like, let me show you what a real silverback gorilla is. I'm coming back to Pittsburgh. Forget about this gorilla that you just got. I'm telling you, that's what it was.
I'd like to know.
I mean, it's too coincidental, right?
I'd like to know about other trades.
Dude, I want to know. Yeah,
a toucan, stuff like that.
BMO said, what would Harambe have gone for?
Yeah, for sure. Big numbies, for sure.
Yeah, at least a couple of first rounders and a giraffe. Accredited zoos rarely buy or sell animals. Instead, they participate in strict breeding and transfer plans driven by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or global equivalents. Yeah, the New England Aquarium barter. They trade species with one another. New England Aquarium bartered 800 mackerel in exchange for 12 puffins and frequently facilitates three-way trades for rare fish and jellyfish. What, 800 mackerel for 12 puffins? Who got fleeced? Somebody got fleeced. Who was the other one?
Oh, what are the mackerel for? Were they food?
I don't know.
Aquarium.
I said the New England Aquarium bartered 800 mackerel in exchange for 12 puffins. It didn't say from where, though.
Didn't say from where.
I don't know. Zoos occasionally swap species. A young capybara got sent to Florida from San Antonio to help manage population. Huh. We got to look. I want to look more into this. I found it's this called the Zoo Chat. I'm going to go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Wow, what a fleece. 800 mackerel for 12 puffins? Are you kidding me? Who's the general manager here? What a trade. Okay. Some college football news. The ACC and the Big 12 and Notre Dame now support the Big 10's 2014 playoff. The SEC is the last holdout. If they cave, say goodbye to the greatest regular season in sports. Everybody keeps saying that. If you love college football, it's time to stand up. Mike Greenberg said, if we live in a world where Ohio State and Michigan rest their starters for that game at the end of the season because they've got the potential of 5 playoff games sitting in front of them, then college football, as we know, has ceased to exist. Everybody's saying that the playoff expanding is the reason college football sucks now. It's because one, you introduced money to the players. That's the first problem. 2, you let them transfer whenever they did. And you've got a bunch of people who have a playoff that has no rules. They don't know what the rules are to the playoff. And then now everybody's getting mad. And, it's annoying. The whole thing's annoying. You have any thoughts on that?
I think this is all for something else. I think everybody's getting all up in arms so that in 2 years they can say, we just need to get rid of conferences.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing. But then if you get rid of conferences, then it just becomes a beauty pageant.
Yeah. How do we make the regular season exciting again? But we only let Notre Dame play Ohio State and Michigan and then nobody else.
Yeah. What?
Just get rid of conference. Make it one super league of all the major teams. That's what this is all setting up. All this outrageous setting that up.
Yeah, and then you get blockbuster games every weekend, That's what they want.
Because people forget, just like people keep on saying, oh, Boise State, and then who was it that lost last year? James Madison. James Madison got blown out. Well, everybody forgets that Oregon then turned around and got blown out themselves. And somebody else got blown out too. Who was it?
There was a lot of blowouts.
Yeah, a lot of blowouts.
Like there were a lot of blowouts.
You know what, James?
I don't have it up on.
Back. almost.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just it's all these people. If Ohio State rest their starters, because you're saying that they don't care about the playoffs, they don't care about postseason. Like the modern athlete doesn't care. They don't care about tradition. Like this is not there's a problem with the playoff. This is the athletes now are about their individual brand. We've all catered to them being, hey, pay the players. When you pay the players, they care about their individual brand. They want to protect their asset. They want to protect themselves. They don't care about the team.
Well, think about it like this too. You have guys who transferred in, and this year it's their first year in the program. Maybe they transferred in the spring, and now they're playing Ohio State that fall, and they're at Michigan. They haven't spent the last 3 years talking about beating Michigan. The last 4 years beating Michigan. So it's just like they show up, and it's like, oh, okay, this game's kind of important. I'm about that, but you haven't lived it.
They'll be about it if it benefits them. Like if they can figure out a way that if it gets some views on social media to hate Michigan, then that's what they'll do. But the first thing they do when they walk into a coach's office now is like, how much am I going to get paid, and how much, what can you offer me? Like, it's not like, man, I really want to beat Michigan. They don't care about that. Let's call it what it is. Like you can see it on the field too. Doesn't matter. So anyways, this is a fun stat though. The most unlikely savior in college football history. Coaches and commissioners are pushing for the 2014 playoff. ESPN only holds the rights for up to 14 teams. If corporate greed is what keeps the sport from growing on completely off the rails, then so be it. So ESPN only can support 14 teams. They have the rights to that. That's an interesting wrinkle.
Mm-hmm.
So could ESPN save college football, or do they care about ratings too much?
I don't know.
And
yeah.
What'd you say?
They would figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
How about Northwestern has revealed its new European football inspired student section? The catch: students can't sit down at the games; they can only stand. Isn't that awesome?
That's interesting.
Well, if you go to a Bills game, you never sit down. I've been to a Bills game; they don't sit down. So
I don't know if I'd like that.
Well, as a student, you probably would, because you would not. You're Superman at that point. You can do anything. It doesn't matter. You're a student. Right now, I would want to sit down.
Yep.
But back in the day, I didn't sit down during games. Oh, all right. How about, can I hang a banner? Let me hang a banner real quick.
Mm-hmm.
How about hang the banner for Texas Tech softball? Because the Women's College World Series softball regionals are going on. Texas Tech, in this century, teams were 0-640 when trailing by 8+ runs in an NCAA softball tournament game. That's now 1-640 because Texas Tech was down 8 runs with only 1 out left in the bottom of the 7th, and they came back to win the game. They scored 8 runs to tie it in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out left. Insane, dude.
Is that pitcher still there, or did she graduate?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. She probably transferred because, individual brand. But that's awesome. That was awesome. Some chick hit a grand slam to tie the game.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
All right, one more thing. I got some how dare yous, and then get off here before my internet explodes from my phone. There is.
How dare you! How dare you! How dare me! How dare you!
How dare you! How dare you, sir? You're gross.
How dare you!
How dare yous! Here we go. Brought to you by Fourth Quarter Performance. Promo code GHOST20 gets you 20% off. Go to fourthquarterperformance.com. Creatine, protein, BCA, super greens, summer. You need your summer body. How dare you to grocery stores? This is atrocious. My wife works at a grocery store. You know that. They don't even stack the soda cans anymore. They use display walls that have soda can graphics printed on them. This is a cardboard structure. It's not even the soda cans anymore. I had no idea until just now that was going on. How dare you? Are you kidding me? It's not even real. It's not even real. I looked at her like we were standing there, and I looked at her. I was like, "This is fake. This is BS. Where's the actual cans, dude?" I was shocked, dude.
That wall isn't real. That's not a
It's
real
not.
wall. Cans of soda.
It's not real, man. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, why would you, like, I mean, you're smart, but that's lazy.
Here's what I want to know. How would
lazy.
one get a blue box of Pepsi from the top?
You can't. It's not real.
I'm just saying if it was real.
You're not supposed to get it. You're supposed to marvel at it. Be like, wow, what a great display of a here. Hey, cheers to 250 years, America. Statue of Liberty. Let's give you a fake stack of soda cans in the shape of an American flag. What a joke.
Looks like it's 20 stacks high, so that's like 4,800 drinks in each stack. And it's probably like 50 stacks. So that's like
it's 20 stacks.
12,000 sodas.
Yeah.
They just had to say, well, nobody's going to buy these because we can't unstack them. Once you stack them, they're there.
I would actually go the opposite way and be like, you can't buy a soda unless you buy it from this American flag. We're not celebrating 250 years by getting a fake, that might as well be, you know what? Normally they get rid of these things. I should ask if I could see if my wife, if we could have this. I want this to put it out by the pool.
Love that.
Up against the retaining wall.
That could be your joke whenever they walk in. Hey, grab a soda.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, 4th of July is coming up. You want a 17-foot tall stack of fake sodas? Absolutely, in the shape of an American flag. I would love that.
Grab a soda.
We could get that for the party, dude.
Yeah.
Also, how dare you to the Preakness sakes, because nobody cares. Nobody knew it was on. There was no hype. You took it from us. Nobody gives a rip about horse racing after you say the Kentucky Derby winner is not racing for the Triple Crown. Napoleon Solo won. Great. Who cares? Oh, well. Do you have a how dare you?
No.
Okay. That's it, dude. We made it. Any other football news or golf or anything you missed? Do you have any words on the golf?
No, I didn't watch any of the golf.
Aaron Rai won it. He's a guy that wears 2 gloves.
Oh, yeah. Tommy 2 gloves. Maybe that'll be a thing. He's going to inspire a lot of 2-glove golfers.
Starting with you.
Yeah, maybe they'll have like these new special golf gloves that are tethered together in a special way that your wrists are cupped to not.
They could just sell 2 golf gloves in the same packet.
They could.
Yeah.
They could.
That's what they should do, honestly. It'd be like the Aaron Rai special. Be like, or I guess you could just wear football gloves out there. Be a real football guy.
Yeah, that is a football guy move though. He's wearing
Is he now we need to know, is he a football guy?
Yeah, that's a football guy move.
It is.
Why would you wear 2 gloves unless you weren't looking to catch an over-the-shoulder pass?
You know what we need to do? We need to infiltrate one of the tournaments coming up and just rip a football at him and see if he snatches it out of the air. If he goes hands or body.
One hands it. Just pow.
Yeah. And we'd be like, we knew it all along, dude. We knew it.
Football guy.
Also, do you want a giant 17-foot tall stack of fake sodas in the shape of an American flag?
Yeah.
Because nobody wants that. That's bull crap. Well, then my thing is, like, if you're going to do it, at least make it believable. You're not going to stack 20 by 60 sodas. Stupid. Okay. Anything else? I think so, dude. Realistically.
Say it one more time. Your mic was all fuzzy and you were breaking up.
No, I said 13-4 for the Niners. Number 1 seed.
Yeah, it'll be Cowboys, Niners, and the championship.
Love that. Nobody was here to dispute it, so I guess that's the way we got to do it.
Incredible.
See you later, everybody. Have a good Monday.